All right, good morning. Good morning. This is Scott Groves with Consolidated Coaching. It is the day after Christmas, but this is still a day that we can lead generate. Surprise, surprise. As a matter of fact, yesterday, actually on Monday, I was super lazy. I did not fill out my calls. I need to do that. There was a few of them. And then for Tuesday, since I thought it would be a little tacky to lead generate on Christmas, I sent some very personalized cards. I got 4 of them out. My goal is to get 6 of them out. So even though I didn't lead generate by phone on Christmas, I can at least commit to the fact that I got out a bunch of cards that were individualized to some of our top referral sources. So lead generation is a daily practice, right? We talk about it every day on this call. And for those of you that aren't part of the coaching community, or you're not part of the coaching program or a paid coaching member, you might be watching this for the first time on Facebook Live, because this is one of the rare ones that we're going to put out on Facebook Live. But because lead generation has to be a daily practice for me, it has to be a daily practice for you, and I need a way to hold myself accountable. What I have been doing is doing this daily lead generation call, first with myself, then with our private coaching members, then with the entire coaching community as a whole, every day at 8:30. And obviously with Consolidated Coaching, this is our morning check-in for a tip, a strategy, a tactic, something of that nature. If nothing else, this is just your way to help hold you accountable for doing the daily activity, the number one daily activity that by doing what, it makes everything else easier, right? By doing this one daily activity, which is lead generation, it makes the rest of your business easier. And I cannot tell you how many problems in the mortgage business are solved by getting another deal. Lost a deal because of rate shoppers? Cool. If you're doing your lead generation, you're filling the pipeline, doesn't matter because you've got another deal coming in. Want to hire an LOA who's only committed to you, or a processor who's only committed to you, or a marketing assistant who's only committed to you, or a receptionist who's only committed to you? Cool. Lead generate, go get more deals, you fund more loans, you make more money for yourself, you make more money for the company, you can afford to pay to have these resources. Boss pissing you off and you want to go over their head? Cool. Fund more loans and you'll have the carte blanche to go over your boss's head if need be to talk to the next level of management, because of the fact that you're highly productive and profitable for yourself, for your branch, for your region, for your company. So many problems are solved, both internally, mentally, physically, frankly, because when business isn't going well, it affects me physically, on your strategic side of your business, on the mental side of your business, on the growth side of your business. Everything starts from funding more loans, and you can only fund more loans if you commit to the lead generation activity. So we've talked about it many, many times on this call. You should have that golden hour of uninterrupted call time. I think it should be somewhere between 9:30-ish and 11:30-ish. So pick an hour, start with a half hour, something, make it a no-fly zone. Have that habit going into the new year, and you're going to double your business. You're going to thrive when everybody else is just trying to survive. And today, the tip that I wanted to give you is ABC4C. ABC4C, ABC4C. Any of you guys that have ever seen Glengarry Glen Ross, and if you haven't, you should go watch the 10-minute clip with Alec Baldwin where he gives his pep talk to the branch of real estate salespeople. Alec Baldwin, side note, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in that role for being on screen like a total of 9 minutes and 45 seconds because it's just powerful. And he goes through this ABC, always be closing, always be closing, always be closing. If you're having a hard time making the lead generation calls, if it's virtually impossible for you to look at this weekly call tracker and say, I don't know what to call to talk to these 3 new relationships about, ABC4C, always be closing for coffee. Always be closing for coffee. In that initial phone call, in the follow-up phone call, in the 15th phone call, you are not going to convince somebody to trust the biggest financial decision of their business, which is handing over the loan piece to you. You are not going to convince them to do that on a cold call or a warm call or the 10th follow-up call or the 15th marketing call. Like, you're not going to pester anybody worth working with into giving you the business. What you might be able to pester them into is getting coffee. So ABC4C. Always be closing for coffee. And what you want to do is that alleviates so much stress if you're going into that call being like, look, I'm not trying to sell this person on using me for non-QM loans. I'm not trying to get this person to dump me to go work with me instead of this person. I'm not trying to talk them out of the fact that I'm a better loan officer than ABC loan officer down the street. All I'm trying to do is build rapport, build a relationship, get them comfortable with my name so that either today or next week or in 10 weeks or in 20 weeks, they are going to take my appointment to go grab coffee. So A, B, C, 4C. Always be closing for coffee. Always be closing for coffee. That takes so much stress off my plate. It alleviates the idea of, oh, I need a script. I don't know what to say, or what am I going to try to sell them, or how am I going to do this? The script is just this. I don't know why Bill is always the mental realtor in my mind, because I don't even work with a realtor named Bill. But it's me calling a realtor named Bill. Hey, Bill, this is Scott. Did I catch you at a bad time? Specifically saying, did I catch you at a bad time? They're going to say no. Trust me, they're going to say no, you didn't catch me at a bad time. To which you can say, hey, it's Scott, loan officer in the area. I know whatever. We've crossed paths. You're on the other side of this deal. You're the listing agent. I've heard about you from other realtors in your office. Saw your marketing, saw your open house. Hey, we keep crossing paths, but we've never had a chance to work with. Whatever you want to interject there as you're an excuse to why they're calling them. Just wanted to grab coffee and see how things are going for you in business. I don't know if we're ever going to work together, but I just like knowing other great professionals in the area. Let's grab coffee. Would love to hear about your business for 15 or 20 minutes. That's it. That's it. That is the secret of cold calling. Start with, did I catch you at a bad time? Because they want to say no. If you ask them, did I catch you at a good time? They're going to say no, and then the conversation is dead. If you say, did I catch you at a bad time? They're going to say, no, you didn't catch me at a bad time. What's going on? Then you can just close for whatever. You can either say, here's the action that we took. I sent you a flyer. I sent you an email, whatever. Would love to set up coffee. Or here's how I know you. Would like to set up coffee. Or here's where we ran into each other last night, last week, last year. Let's set up coffee. Or here's what I know about you. I know good things about you because of Facebook. I know good things about you because I work with one of the realtors you work with. Let's have coffee. A, B, C, 4C. Always be closing for coffee. This is the interactive part of the conversation for those of you that are in the coaching program that are on the webinar live and not just watching on Facebook. Does this resonate with you? Does this make sense with you? Are you freaked out about making the cold calls because you don't have the right script, you don't know exactly what to say? Would it be easier for you if you knew that you were making the call just with the intention of closing for coffee? Yes or yes? Yes or no? Would love to hear your feedback in the chat box. Again, this is the interactive part of the exercise. So that's what I got for you as, here's Darren. Darren says yes. He says, my issue is getting the inertia to start. We've talked about this a little bit before, Darren, not one-on-one, but just in the group setting, the group coaching. You're never going to get the inertia. You're never going to just materialize the inertia, right? Because something in motion tends to stay in motion. Something at rest tends to stay at rest. If you haven't made that first phone call yet, the skies are not going to open up and nobody divine is interested in you making your cold calls. Like there is no secret. There is no motivation, right? None of us are motivated to call a bunch of strangers who we haven't talked to before and ask to go out to have coffee with them. But spoiler alert, that's our job. Our job is to interrupt people's patterns and try to get them to do business with us. So there is no initial inertia because something's got to start moving in order for it to stay in motion. Because if it's at rest, it's going to stay at rest. I never graduated college, so I don't know who came up with that theorem or that law. But maybe it was Newton. I don't know. Anyway, so you have got to force yourself through commitment. Force yourself through commitment to get on that very first phone call. Just make the damn phone call. Good things are going to happen. Either they're going to say, no, I don't have time for coffee, but at least now they know your name. You can call back in a week or two and they're a little bit more familiar with your name. Or they're going to say yes to coffee and it's going to be a huge win. Or you're going to go to voicemail and you're going to leave a voicemail and just rack it up to brand recognition. They got another voicemail with your name. So don't worry about the inertia. Just commit to making the first call and everything else will go from there. David Grimble says, I've gotten more yeses to coffee drinks than for meetings or lunch and learns. Yeah, of course, because everybody wants to go have a coffee and talk about themselves. So great job, David. Stay with it. For those of you in the coaching program, our paid coaching members, just quick preview behind me, the stuff that we're going to be working on over the next few months and throughout the year. And I've got to give a big shout out to David Halpern, who is a real estate coach. He's really helped kind of solidify some of these ideas in my mind over the 6 levers of business. So your 6 levers of business, how you can basically improve your business, is through personal development, measuring the metrics, the weekly meeting, either with your team, with yourself, with the people that are working on your business, time management, marketing, and people. Those are pretty much the only things that you can lever or leverage, any of the levers that you can move in your business to do better. So those are things that we're going to be going over with a deep dive focus in our coaching program over the next 6 to 12 months. So that's all I've got for you today. Scott Groves, Consolidated Coaching. If you have any questions, any comments, any additional follow-up that you're looking for, this particular video, about once a month we do this, we went live on Facebook, so shared it with everybody in the community, not just our paid clients, and we'll go from there. Oh, Lori has one question. Just closed a deal called The Listing Agent, and she slammed me hard, no meeting. Did an amazing job on the deal. Cool. You know what that means, Lori? That means for the cost of one phone call, you found an asshole that you don't want to work with. It's pretty much that easy. If you did a great job on a transaction, if you were keeping the listing agent informed throughout the transaction, and then you called them when the transaction closed on time with little to no drama and asked them for a coffee appointment, and they were an ass about it, they just slammed you on whatever, something nebulous, then, you met an asshole that you probably don't want to be doing business with. If, however, you're just a little emotional about it, because I get very emotional about deals, if you're a little emotional about it and the listing agent actually gave you some constructive criticism about things that you could have done better as the lender, my initial reaction is anger, cussing, vent to my 2 partners here, Arash and Justin. And then after about 10 minutes if it's a little issue, an hour if it's a big issue and the person was a real asshole, I'll go back and say, okay, what did this person say that I can reflect upon and make changes to my business that may make it better? And if I decide nothing, then I decided nothing. That's my business. But more often than not, if somebody's upset or rude or goes out of their way to say something negative about your business, there's something we did wrong or something that we can improve upon in the future. So Lori, I would say one of 2 options. One, write that person off and know that it's somebody that you never have to deal with again because you don't want to and they were an ass. Number 2, if this is resonating with you that, hey, maybe there was something that we could have done better or some point where I didn't get back to them or some update I could have delivered, work that into your business, send them an email and say, hey, appreciate your feedback from the other day. I realize coffee is not on the agenda, but I just want to let you know, moving forward, I've implemented XYZ into my workflow based on the feedback that you have. I hope if we're in a deal together again, it goes smoother, and have a great year. Take the high road, right? Be pissed, be angry, because we're all allowed to do that. Vent a little bit, go punch a punching bag if you need to, like I do, and then, kind of adjust your process as need be and take the high road. Reach out to that person, send them an email, close out that mental loop in your mind that's driving you nuts about why they treated you that way, and let them know that you've improved yourself, you've improved your process, and maybe they'll want to work with you at some point in the future. So that's all I got for you today. Every day at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are here. We are ready to help, and we want you to help hold yourself accountable for these lead generation calls. All right, go make your calls. I know it's the day after Christmas, but it's a great excuse to check in, say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, hope you had a great day yesterday. Let's set up a coffee appointment for next week, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, Mr. and Mrs. Referral Source, so that next year you're closing even more business and we can all get bigger Christmas gifts. All right, talk to you soon. Love you all. Talk to you tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Bye.